I don't have a TBR for this video. I don't have a TBR for this week. I just know that I want to finish some books off and I want to read a few that I've had my eye on, whether they are on my monthly TBR or not or anything, and I just thought I'd take you along, you know? So, welcome to my little corner on the internet. I'm Kiki. Lovely to have you here. I thought I would take you along on a week in my life in the sense of what I read. Because I ain't a professional YouTuber. You're gonna see what I read, nothing else. And a few of the things I do while reading, because perfect example actually. I need to rearrange a few of my books because I need more shelves to put books on that I've read and DNF'd this year, because the shelves I'm using for that currently are pretty much full. And so I need to rearrange some stuff. While I do that, I'm gonna pop in an audiobook and actually start a book this time around. But I don't really have a TBR for this week. I just want to try to get as much reading done as I can, while also it still being, realistic in a sense. Like, no week is ever the same for me, which is both great and it sucks. Like, I crave routine, I just don't have it. I know which book I'm going to start with. It will be... This is the naked hardcover, but it is the third in a trilogy, and this is a German book. On that note, I tried filming a German video because I have so many German books. It's not gonna work. I absolutely hate listening to myself speak in German, and if I have to edit that, it's not gonna work. I am going to start by reading this, and I might actually end up reading another German book this week because I am meeting an author later this week, and I should try to play a little bit of catch up with her literary catalog, so we'll see what happens. This is one of the best starts to a book I have read in a long time. Like, we just got a recap of what happened in the first two books by a very beloved character. And at the end of said recap, they actually included sort of trigger warnings in a way. Like, this is a YA, almost urban fantasy sort of thing. It is most definitely not too heavy on like certain triggers as you would see in dark romance, for example, but they did say like sexist, ableist, and racist. Like, basically they said you will come across sexist, ableist, and racist assholes, so if you're not cool with that right now, maybe read it later, or maybe like read it with a loved person by your side. And that is so cute. Like, that is such a clever way of doing that. Love it. So, I haven't actually changed that much, but what I did do is this was technically like I had German books in here. Technically there are still German books in here, but what I did is I now put the German books that I've read so far this year on here, and then DNFs down at the bottom. This is gonna continue to be my like English red shelf. I now have a bit more space on there. And then honestly, I'm gonna have to check what happens once those are full, because I don't want to rearrange my shelves too much just to completely rearrange them again later on. That feels like a bit of a waste, you know? So actually, I think I'm done with what I wanted to do down here. And now I don't know what to do. So I have not been reading much, to be honest. I have made it to page 96 in this book. Wow. This color looks even more aggressive on camera than it does in real life. Okay, I love it. And so far I'm enjoying it. This is the third in a trilogy, and we are still being introduced to new characters and like key players, I believe. So, you know, gotta love her for it. And yeah, the thing is, I don't think I can concentrate on it today. I got my period today and it's just not it, like at all. But my hold for the last in a comic series came in on Libby. And so I think that I will borrow that and just read that. And yeah, just chill with that, see what happens, and finish off this series, which is going to be really nice. So yeah, I'm trying to open it up so I can show you, but it's called Else. And it is about a girl who has multiple identities, and it definitely has like a sci-fi element in it and everything, so it's really interesting. There we go. This is the cover of the third volume, which seems to be the last, and it's really nice. Like the way that the different personalities are showcased is through hair color and style and everything, and I think it's really cute. So I'm gonna read that, not right now, but later. So, yesterday I read for about an hour and a half, and I read about 197 pages, like 103 or something were the comic, which I finished. And yeah, it was definitely not as much as I thought I would read, but it's a good start to the week, honestly. Like, I could have just not read anything. Those days happen as well. But today I want to start the day with a little home workout, and so I am going to continue listening to this book while doing that and see how far I get. And then I really, really want to finish this today, but I know I'm not, which makes it a challenge and might end up being the case. I don't know, my brain works in weird ways. Oh my goodness. But yeah. You know, that would be like 400 something pages. We'll see. But I'm gonna get started on that. for the whole day, pretty much, I've been either listening to or reading this book, and that has been going on for almost 6 hours. I will say it over and over again. Audiobooks are the greatest. I love them. And I finished it, which means that I've read like 433? Yeah, 433 pages. This. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still completely in this book. I literally just finished it. I don't really know what to do with myself. But because I did quite well with the German book today, and I don't know if I really want to read with an audiobook right now. I have a couple of book options that I brought with me. I have another, like, these are German books. So it's a Laura Labas book, so I have read one of her books and I actually did not enjoy it, like, pretty much at all. But this is a trilogy, and I thought that I could maybe try this, because if I get the same feeling from this book that I got from the other book that I read by this author, I am going to DNF it, and then I'm going to DNF the series, and it's done. So I'm thinking I could do that, or I could do that, which is on my May TBR, and also actually kind of has a semi-high likelihood of being DNF'd. So I could be, done and over with. It's got a map. Then I also could read this, which is the second in a trilogy that I've been wanting to read for years and years and years, and then I got my hands on it, and then I never picked it up. And then I also have this, which is the first in a duology that I technically need to read before Friday. So I know I should do this, but I don't want to do this right now. Also partially because this is going to be somewhat similar to this, and I don't want to compare them, so I definitely should read something else in between. You know what? Yeah. I think I am going to start with the one that I think is going to be a DNF, but I want to give it a chance, so it's already, like, time to, like, maybe start thinking about getting ready for bed anyway. So I can start this and then just go to sleep after DNFing it. I love how I'm already like, I'm probably going to DNF it. Why am I going to read it? No, I'm going to give it a try. I want to know, because I always, like, I feel like if I don't at least try, what if I, like, miss out on my next 5-star read just because I was like, oh, maybe because I didn't like another book by the author. I'm gonna try, and we will see. No, I can't. Page, like, 15, I'm DNFing it. Didn't, like, get through the prologue and half of the first chapter. I'm not doing this. I think it's the writing style that just I don't like. And it felt, even just within the prologue and half of the first chapter, it already felt so much like the other book that I read by the author that I could still kick myself for not DNFing. And I'm not doing that again. I am not sorry, but I can take off 3 books off my physical TBR because that's a trilogy that I'm not reading. Which means that now I'm going to try this and see if I like this. Morning. So it is not even 7 yet, but I have to leave in a couple of minutes because I have an appointment at 7:30. And that hurts, honestly. It's so difficult for me to get out of bed. But I thought before I leave I would let you know what I read yesterday. I think I read for about 7 hours, and I read 522 pages, which is quite the jump from Monday. I don't think that's going to be happening today. I am feeling a bit better, I think, despite having to get up so early. I'm going to have to take a nap later, but yeah, for now, I'm good. And I made it. I didn't have a bookmark last night, so now I need to figure out where I left off. Yeah, so I got to page 74. I started a chapter because last time this radio bit was its own chapter, basically, but it wasn't this time, and I was like, I'm not gonna read another 30 pages. Because that's about how long that chapter is. I hate long chapters, but it's this book. I'm not intrigued, am I? No. I want to get to the part where she's actually getting letters from her future self, because that is like the whole premise of the book. I looked at Goodreads yesterday, and a review said that the letters actually take on like a secondary role, and more of the teenage school drama is like the primary focus of the book, and I am not for that. So I'm gonna take this to the doctor's with me and read while I wait, and then I'm gonna see what I think. I just found a bookmark. And I think after that, depending on how much reading I get done, I might DNF it. So I'm back, and I read the chapter while I was out and just finished like the last page or so. I didn't have a long waiting time, which was gorgeous. But I'm on page 94, and this book is giving me nothing. I just read the last chapter with just a sort of epilogue and a couple of like paragraphs of the last chapter, and I don't think that this book is going to give me anything at all. So instead, I'm gonna DNF because I can't be bothered. I forgot to, 94. I can't. So I barely read today, which is funny because I'm guessing that tomorrow is going to be a much better reading day then. We seem to be doing a bad reading day, good reading day, bad reading day. I'm hoping tomorrow's going to be a good one again. But I've read for about an hour-ish, and I continued with Medusa's Sisters a little bit because I do want to get these books that I've started done as well. I just filmed my June TBR, and I'm really excited for it. But I also really want to finish the books that I like want to finish before picking up those. This is one of them. And then I also started the German book that I wanted to read, and I am quite excited. I just realized that I am going to ignore one of the books that were on my, like, May TBR, because I believe this was on my May TBR, but I am not going to be reading this right now because it would take me too long to finish, and I want to be able to fully enjoy myself with the book. So yeah. But anyway, I started this, and this is a really great start so far. I am so intrigued. So yeah. I still don't quite know what's happening. I'm only like, let me check, 78 pages in. I love when there's like art at the beginning of a chapter. It's like basically what's on the front cover. So yeah, I am so intrigued by this book though. If I had more time today, I definitely would have tried to binge this. Would not have been healthy, but I would have wanted to try. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to get a good chunk of this done tomorrow so that I can try to read the second book in the series before meeting the author on Friday. That's not happening. That's unfortunate. We're gonna have to see. But anyway, only an hour of reading today. Not, I don't even know, maybe 100 pages. Probably not even. And I am so unsure about this one. Like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also not. And I'm very confused about it. But like at this point, I'm like 2/3, not quite 2/3 in. I'm thinking if I should like soft DNF this, but then I would have to restart it and I don't want to do that. I will think about that when I have a brain tomorrow morning, because today is not there anymore. Guys, I'm like super confused. What? I just finished this and I've been listening and reading for like 4 hours now, which has been great. I've been packing because I'm gone this weekend and a good chunk of next week. So I've been trying to pack, but the weather is like super unpredictable over the next couple of weeks, I think. So I need to repack because I was like just throwing everything in, but I actually need to like do that methodically. So gotta repack. But yeah, I've been preparing, I've been cleaning, doing all the shit you need to do before like you go somewhere. And so I've been listening to this. I am so fucking confused. I'm like, certain things I saw coming, other things I didn't, and now I'm just really confused. Like, what? So yeah, I'm gonna continue. I think I'm gonna continue listening to Medusa's Sisters now and repack and just continue doing the stuff I need to do. I need to stop swearing so much. Like, I cut a lot of it out, but like, I need to stop swearing. So, I have just finished listening to the last bit of Medusa's Sisters that I didn't manage to finish at home. before leaving. And yeah, I have to say I definitely enjoyed the second half, or maybe the last third, not quite sure, a lot more than the beginning of the story. The beginning was important, but for me, it was just like definitely more interesting to see the story once they had become the Gorgons and how, like, what happened. I always find it interesting which take on the Medusa story an author takes, because there are so many interpretations of it, and it's like, I mean, a lot of the times it also kind of depends on who is writing it, but I think I liked this one, especially in the end. Like, one of the last sentences basically like, within the story still, talks about these discrepancies. And, like, is it a curse? Is it a gift? So I appreciated that a lot. I don't know how much I liked the first part. I think if that had been shorter, just a bit more condensed, I would have enjoyed the whole of the book a bit more. But because I was driving for almost 2 hours, I started listening to the audiobook of Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. And I am like 16% through, like really not that far. I have a couple minutes left in the 4th chapter, which means like a couple of pages, really not that much. And I can so see how this is basically like a Lord of the Rings fan fiction. So, I just got out of the shower, but I also, today in the morning, have been listening to Wir sind die Ewigkeit, which is the second book in the Dusk and Dawn duology that I wanted to finish before meeting the author today. I'm about a third through. I don't think I will be able to completely finish this book before going there, because my friend is picking me up in... Good question. I have no idea what time it is. But she's picking me up soon-ish, and I would probably be missing about an hour of reading time. And it is what it is. I will have gotten a good chunk through this book, which is great, but I just don't think I'll be able to finish it unless her class runs late and she is going to pick me up later than anticipated, which I don't think so. So yeah, so far I'm liking it. We have gotten some explanations. We have... Something was revealed that I thought was the case, so still got it. Hello! So I got back from... What was it called? Madly in Love with Books? Book Lover Festival? I don't remember. But I got back from there. I am really, really sad because unfortunately the author that I really wanted to meet, and the only one I really knew of the ones that were there, had to call out sick. So I got there and I started queuing up for the signing. And then they were like, unfortunately, if you haven't like heard it yet, but unfortunately she's not here because she's sick. And I was so devastated, but it's okay. I got a lot of goodies. I was like fully prepared to spend a lot of money today, but I ended up only buying one book. Guys, you do not understand how excited I am about this book, okay? Like, since learning that there would be a book, I have been like super excited for it because I love her. Her TikTok series just, it makes me so happy whenever I see it. So I got For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lin, and this is a brick. Honestly, the fact that, okay, actually, let me check how many pages this has. This has over 600 pages. The writing size is nice though, and like, it flops. So I approve. And like, I know that I'm currently reading 3 books, but I have to start this tonight. I'm still only like 60% or something through this one, but the urge to read this book is too big to not do it. And I know it's a mistake starting it tonight because it's like almost 10:30. And I know I'm gonna stay up reading this. But I just can't. I need it like... No, oh, it has the new book smell. I need it like now. Chapters in and I'm crying. I think, I mean, I had this with Hell's Bells as well, because whenever Lily, this is no spoilers, it's literally the premise of the book, but when Lily talked about dying as well, like in Hell's Bells as well, it was always like, she wasn't crying for herself, but she was crying for her family. And I feel like that's always like, I'm not afraid of dying, like, at all. But I'm afraid of what it will do to my family if I were to, like, die early or something like that, you know? It's just like... And that hit hard. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Wasn't expecting it. I'm not mad at it. I should have expected it though. I know what this is about. And I know the way that JC, like, tells the stories. I should have known. I should have gone in better prepared. But I didn't. It is what it is. Ugh. I didn't expect to go through like the full range of emotions within the first 16 pages of a like 600-page book, but I should have known. I may have possibly found my next 5-star read.
And that alone is gonna make me cry because I've been like desperately chasing that like 5-star high since my last 5-star, which I think coincidentally ended up being the assistant to the villain series, which is also a TikTok series. Is it full of tropes? Yes. Do I still love it? Yes. So I have high hopes for this. Also, the writing is actually gorgeous. Like, I'm not, like, for me, I'm not a good judge of, like, how well something is written, but for me, this is perfection in the first 16 pages. I'm gonna continue. I've made it about 20% through. Wow, I sound tired. What the fuck? Anyway, it is pretty much midnight. I just tracked how much reading I got done in this today because I do try to like sort of get it like down properly. And I feel myself getting so tired, but I desperately want to continue reading this. I do not remember the last time I wanted to stay up to read and finish a book. As much as it pains me, I think I'm gonna stop here. I wish, oh, I wish I would have started this a day, like on a day where I knew, like in the morning, where I knew I would just like have time to read and do nothing else and just completely get lost in the book. Because now I really will want to pick this up again tomorrow morning, like first thing. But I can't, which hurts. Watch me just pick it up anyway, just because I don't care. Yeah, but like right now, I think I can. I'm at a point where I don't feel too bad about stopping. Like Fallon Lily Matt. Also, I'm guessing our author here is a big fan of mythologies and stuff because we've met and heard about so many like different pantheons and like gods and goddesses already. We've also met like Lucifer, which I think is so cool. I mean, it's set in hell, so of course we'd meet like Lucifer. But like all of the demons are so cute. I love them. Is demon the right word? You can see my brain isn't even functioning anymore. But can I just mark this as a 5-star right now? No, but seriously, this is witty. This is cute. This is still heavy in a way though, like because like it deals with death. Death is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, so please be mindful of that. But if I had to choose an image of the afterlife, like, and I could choose like any image, I would choose this one. Like, I would choose, like, I would want to go through what people's souls go through here. Like, the way it is described here, I find it so comforting, I think. So, yes, yes. Good morning. Uh, I just woke up, but my first coherent thought was I want to continue reading. which I know I shouldn't do, but I really, really want to. Okay, first of all, it felt like the book ended like right like right after things were resolved, right? Like final battle, book was done. And then the epilogue is kind of funny because our main female character is a bit morally gray. Girly pop. Yeah, so I finished. I'm really happy. Took like an hour of listening and then I sat down to read a little. So yeah. I just I want to read For Whom the Bell Tolls so badly, but I need to do some stuff beforehand. And I just wanted to finish this so I can then concentrate on Lily and Belle and Sharky and all of the others. Also, it got really cold while I was reading, so like I'm now apparently wearing a sheep or something. But so I just got back home from a very lovely day with a couple of friends of mine, and I just got ready for bed. I am actually kind of tired, but I have been thinking about this book the whole day. Like, I woke up, first thought, this book. I had like 5 minutes in between like getting ready or something. I read this book. I was out with friends. We went mini golfing, then we went grocery shopping so we could make pizza, and then we were playing a game. And the whole time I was thinking about this book. So far, I have loved every single second of this book. I mean, I feel like this is also like a very uniquely beautiful experience with this book. Same with Assistant to the Villain, because I have grown to love these characters through the TikTok series, like through the skits and everything that the author has talked about. And so I didn't need to fall in love with the characters because I already love them like so, so much. But now I am getting more basically background information on them and just seeing day-to-day life and how certain characters met, or like how all of the characters met. And it's truly a beautiful experience, which is also why Assistant to the Villain and Apprentice to the Villain were 5 stars, and I am probably gonna give Accomplice to the Villain, yeah, 5 stars once that comes out. Because the thing is, like, this is humongous and I still love it. Like, I cannot wait to continue reading, which I'm gonna do now because I need to. It's like I am addicted
to this book. I feel like that's a really great way to describe it. I am addicted. I did finish For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn, and this is a 5-star. I didn't jinx it. I did not think that a book would like give me the full range of human emotions. Like, I haven't had that happen in quite a while, and this made me so happy. I loved it so much. I love Lily and Belle and Sharky and all of them so much more now, and I cannot wait for the next book to be written and published and get my hands on it. Like, I cannot even tell you how much I need the second book right now. I don't know. I don't think I've had that many like 5-star books this year. I thought I was doing really well. And then it's just like most books just didn't hit that 5-star mark. I have a whole 5 books that are 5 stars. And 3 of those were rereads. Percy Jackson rereads. Yeah, the other one is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. And then Who Made Me a Princess Volume 1. And I feel like that is maybe more of a 4.75 than a true 5-star, but I'm gonna keep it at a 5-star. So, yeah. Good company. I am so excited to just... I got the next book. I know it's gonna take a while, but I need it, like, now. But because I have a little bit more time today, and I do think I want to do a little bit more reading, and this just went absolutely stunningly, I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to pick this back up. Like, I don't want to start a new book, which I could do. So I have the choice between We Are All Birds of Uganda and Realmbreaker. Now, Realmbreaker is, I think, one of those that I can also just, like, listen to when I want to, like, pop in an audiobook. I might pick this up later today, because there's only so much I can read of this in one sitting, in one day. But I do want to try to make some progress in this, because I still haven't continued since I picked it up at the end of April, and we're at the end of May. So, yeah, this definitely needs to be read. So, I am soft DNFing this because I've read like 30-ish pages, and I'm realizing that I am not in the right headspace and like mood to read this. And I do think that I have the capacity to appreciate this book, just not right now. So I am going to soft DNF this and try to pick it up again when I feel a bit more ready, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Now I'm unsure what to do with myself, because I sort of haven't prepared to start reading this again. I'm gonna see what I'll do. But for now, this is gonna be a soft DNF. am honestly quite proud of myself. The like 2-ish days, I think, that I managed to read like over 700 pages, I still cannot believe it. But I am actually so happy. I don't know how realistic this week was, but it's also like not realistic because it is actually what I did that week. But I have gotten so many books off of my physical TBR. I thought I would just quickly go through them again, and I'll start with the DNFs. So I DNF'd this trilogy, which I just can't do. I didn't like the writing style. I think that was the biggest problem. Found it obnoxious. I DNF'd this standalone, which also I found obnoxious. And both of these were German. So that's like 4 books that I got off of my TBR. And then I soft DNF'd We Are All Birds of Uganda, which I've had on my reading list and my TBR for a while now. And I just realized that I'm not in the right headspace to read this right now, which is why I soft DNF'd it, and I will definitely give it another chance. Maybe later on this year, I will see how I feel, honestly. And then I've made such great progress with my German books, it is ridiculous. But I read the third in a trilogy by one of my favorite authors, and I gave that 4.5 stars, and I'm just so happy, and I cannot wait for her to publish her next book. And yeah, it's just these always feel like coming home. They're very nostalgic. And then I read the Dusk and Dawn duology by Kira Licht, who I unfortunately did not get to meet. But I am really happy that I finally read these. I gave this 3.75 stars. They were good. I think I read them too quickly, like back to back, because I really wanted to finish them. But yeah, they were good. They're not my favorites, I think, but they were still super interesting. I loved the like world that it was set in, because it was set in our world but also had a different dimension attached to it. Kind of difficult to explain when you read it in German, but I actually enjoyed those. But I don't think they're my favorite from the author. And then I read Medusa's Sisters, which I'm so happy I actually finished, and I gave that 3.5 stars. I felt like I would have liked the first half to be shorter. The second half, loved it. And yeah, definitely an interesting take on the Medusa tale. Why is this broken? What the heck? So before I show you the star of this week, I did start Victoria Aveyard's Realmbreaker, which is basically Lord of the Rings fanfiction, and I am not that far through yet, but it also is. Like, it's almost 130 pages. It's just that these are big. So yeah, I'm gonna continue reading this. And then the star of the show has to be For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn, and this brings me so much joy. I gave it 5 stars. I am so excited for the continuation. I still get really excited every single time I see that there's a new Hell's Bells episode. There we go. And I just loved it so much. I don't know how many pages I actually read, but it must be somewhere in the 3,000 or 4,000 range, given that on 2 days I read like 700 and 800, and you can do the math. I've blended it in like daily how much I read on that day. So yeah, I don't know what to say. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing. I would love to have you here, and Hopefully I will see you in the next video, which is going to be a continuation of me trying to finish the insane amount of series I have on my TBR. Bye!